Good evening and welcome. It is Thursday night, um, January 16th, 2025. We've made it 16 days into the year, and I think things are looking better, I hope. But I want to give a warm welcome to all of you that are looking for answers and help on how to fight CPS and stop taking our children. That's a horrible feeling to have someone who wants to take your children. But there's a bad element of CPS, and many of the agencies gone rogue. I'm not saying all CPS is bad. I'm not saying we need to abolish CPS. We just have to manage CPS a lot better than we have been in the past. And we need to concentrate on the main focus, which is families, which is the mother, the father, and the siblings. And don't forget the grandparents. They're important too. Now, you found me on Facebook, Fighting CPS with Bob Pace, and you come to this room, which I think is great. This room is one of 8 rooms. All the messages from all the rooms are channeled into this room, so I see all your little messages. So I welcome you. I give you a warm welcome. Now, I'm not an attorney. You just heard from a real attorney, Vincent W. Davis. He's the real deal. And he will help you. He also gives a lot of his time. I want to thank him for that. And I'll be talking about him again. Also, I want to tell you how you can interact in this podcast. Now, for some of you who don't know, when I say CPS, I call it the Child Protection Systems. Every county, every state has a CPS. Worldwide, we have CPS. I have over 20 countries. And sadly, this morning, one of my regular people from South Africa broke apart. And during the whole show, she was talking about how much she misses her child and everything and how things are not going right. So many of you get your hopes up and go to court, and then your hopes are tattered. Betty tells me that she went to court yesterday, and the social worker lied and said that the permit to transport her niece from Nebraska to Montana had expired. There's an organization called the ICPC, and that's a national organization that transferred children from one state to another for their safety. Well, they showed up in court for yesterday's hearing, and the social worker out of the blue said, "Oh, the ICPC permit has expired." That was a shock to the judge. It was a shock to Betty, who's trying to get her niece. So you got to be prepared for the unthinkable. You have to be prepared. Now, one of 4 ways to interact in this podcast, besides being in this room, is to text me messages. Now, while you're in this room, you can do emojis, which are like the hearts, the smiley faces, thumbs up. Those are beautiful. I appreciate them. There's also when you can send me stars. Please check below if you want to follow me and you want to be notified when I'm on. Please check the notification button. But I'm really happy to see y'all here. Now, I told you I was an attorney, but what I am is I'm a family man, loving and caring. I have over 41 years of marriage experiences. I have 60 years of life skills. And I've raised 6 beautiful children, 6 of them, 3 olders and 3 youngers. The oldest is in the 40s, and then I have 2 girls in their 30s, and then my rest of my brood, 3 of them are in their 20s, and I have 1 child still in their teens. But I know how important a family is. And I was devastated when my family was trafficked into foster care right away. No reason or anything. They fabricate stories and they try to treat you bad because you may not know about this system. I didn't know about CPS. I didn't know about the things you're not supposed to do. But it seems like I broke every rule by talking to them, by letting them in my home, by letting them take my children. Those are 3 things you never should do. Now, we have a lot of regulars that come into this room, and I'm always looking forward to that. Now, we have someone, I don't recognize the name JT. Let me see up here. Welcome, JD. I'm sorry, JD. I like to talk about my case. I got issues with children's services and the police, and I'm struggling to cope with any more lives without my daughter. I nearly killed myself today by the pain I need to go through. It is so painful. Taking one's own life is a last resort, and I know some people think about it, but you got to be strong. You got to be strong, and you need to get help, and you're doing the first thing. Congratulations on finding my room. And texting in a message. All I need to know from you is your city and state, or your county and state. If you're from another country, I'd like to know the country and your province. So that is welcome there. J-Day or JD. I'm so bad with some of these names that people give themselves. Now he texts another comment here. He's from the United Kingdom. I'm so thrilled. You're about the 4th person from the United Kingdom that has called in. In London yesterday, we got a family court where they fabricated documents to take away twins away from the family who refused to take a vaccination children. So you had medical trafficking. That's what medical trafficking is about. And they're starting to take children because they refuse something medically. Now, the family where the parents do not see the babies for 2 more years, and I'm struggling to live without my own daughter, too. She is 16 years old, and I miss my daughter. Are we talking about 3 children? And I assume you're from United Kingdom. Where in the UK are you from? Do you know what part? Are you in? I know so many places in England. Are you even from London or Leeds, or maybe from Doncaster? It helps me formulate my mind where the problems are with CPS. Now, we've had an African woman this morning. Now we got a London man this evening, and we had several Canadians yesterday. So I'm so happy and so pleased to see people from other countries come here to get help. I think your country code is 44 because South Africa is 27. You're from the UK. Do you know what part? The United Kingdom could be England, Wales, or Scotland. You could be from Cardiff in Wales, or from Edinburgh in Scotland, or London in England, or out in the countryside at Leeds, or Doncaster in the north. I've been to your country many, many, many times. I've had lots of visits over the years. Now, what JD is, the gentleman from United Kingdom says, I struggled for 7 weeks now. I've seen my daughter bounce. I see my daughter because she's been removed unlawfully, and I'm a mom. Okay, JD, you're a mom. Okay, so you're under the mother, where no one got issues ever. I'm not drinking and not smoking. I not got issues. One more. One moral mom, caring for my daughter and for the others. I got issues only when I found out that my daughter had been molested. I don't know why people molest children. I don't know what the fascination is about young children. Molested by a pedophile. I called police to help, and the police open up a big problem and take my daughter. What they do, and this is a sad thing, I got to tell everybody, whether you're in United Kingdom, in the United States, or in South Africa, when you call CPS or you call the police, it's going to get worse for you. Because why? They want to make money off you. They want to make money off you. And that is wrong. That is totally wrong. Okay, she's from the Norfolk area, and she's definitely from England. I know where the Norfolk area is. It's a good town. A lot of hardworking people there. And your country code is 44. I know. I've had people call me from England. Now I want to say hello to Margaret, who's one of my regulars. By the way, JD, you're now part of the family. Margaret's one of the family members, and she's from Missouri. She is a mother and a grandmother. And her child was taken too. Her child was taken too. Now, keep texting in your questions or comments, long as it pertains to CPS, so I can answer them. Also, state your name and your city or your county where the case was in, and also the state. Now, if you're from one of my other countries, I have right now 20 countries that have called in. I have Bangladesh, India. I have several countries in the Middle East. I have 6 countries in Africa. Then in Europe, I got 9 countries there in Europe. Then across the pond, I got North America, and I got 3 provinces in Canada. I got all 50 states that have texted in or called in, and then I have also the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., which is not a state. And they've called in. Then I have down in Mexico, and then down in South America, I have Grenada on the east coast of South America. Then I go across the Pacific, I have New Zealand, and then I have Australia, and I have both the Gold Coast and the Melbourne area on the south coast, which is the state of Victoria. So I have a well diversified of people from around the world, and they're more than welcome. They're more than join the family. And I want to help you out, JD. I want to help you out. Margaret, what's new? What do you have new for me? Let me see what. Let You see what JD has said. I regret that I called the police because I thought they were helping me. But then I found out they're making money from this issue. They create a case against me and lie about me because they got 45 pounds, 45,000 from one child removed from the family. Now that's 45,000 quid, I think it is, or pounds. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I really did not know that your child protection system gets that kind of money from the federal government. Now, our money in the United States comes from the federal government to the county, and then from the county, it goes to the local offices. And it's unwatched. The money is unaccounted for. Right now in Richmond, Kentucky, there's over $500,000 missing. Now, they found $400,000, and they have a guy that works for the CPS linked to it. He was embezzling funds. It's so loosey-goosey, the CPS is the United States. And it seems like it's worldwide too. No matter if I'm talking to Africa or talking to a small country like Grenada or talking to Libya in Middle East, it all seems something similar. CPS is taking money and takes lots of money. Lots of money. Jay Day says, I know. I got a mission from this issue to help others. God has definitely taken me through this painful situation. I know what to think that my daughter been fed by drugs and become now she's acting not like a daughter. I know because she's 16 years old and she's a teenager, and the people that she's with, they're probably in foster care, are corrupt. They're corrupt. Now, Margaret says, I had my readiness today, your readiness trial. I want to know how that went, Margaret. I know you were talking to me this morning, but I want to know how it went. JD, the mom of her two small children and her older daughter, 16, says, I know the fact, and I got evidence that the children services is using drugs to make my children unrecognizable. I believe that. I believe that because they are corrupt. What's so sad is that it's so rampant. No matter if I'm talking to a mother on the Indian reservation in Rosebud, South Dakota, the home of the Lakota Sioux, or I'm talking to JD, the mother in Norfolk, England. CPS is corrupt. I'd like to hear, Margaret, how your case went. Hi, Lucy. And she says she's from Patchroom. What country is that? I never heard of that city, but welcome. Welcome. What country is that? Now, in the UK, JD says they take the children into independent homes. I assume that is a foster care home. Now, JD from United Kingdom, from England, Norfolk said, they lie to me, but no, 2 weeks. She's not in college. And I'm asking Children's Services, where is my daughter? They keep quiet, ignoring my calls and my messages. It said only 2 words, your daughter's sick. But I worry that my daughter's definitely been poisoned. She never was sick before. I'm sorry to hear that, JD. When your children are in custody, it's the responsible of the CPS, the Child Protection System, to tell how your children are, where they're at. You're supposed to have visitations with your children, wherever they are. You're supposed to see them every week. And if they miss a visitation, they have to do what's called a makeup. JD says they take her to independent living home. That's how they do it in the United Kingdom. And they're trying to do this so they can adopt your child. So your child can be adopted so they get more money. I still think 45,000 quid is a lot of money that CPS gets to take care of your daughter. Now, my 3 kids, then, when they were taken, the CPS in Orange County, California, were getting $20,000 per child. That was $60,000. But you say one child, they're getting $45,000. That's twice as much than my children that were trafficking into foster care. Now, Margaret says, when I visit my granddaughter this past week, she mentioned a new grandma and a cousin, which makes me wonder if they're trying to put her with another family. You got to be careful, Margaret. You got to be careful, Margaret. Those are warning signs. Those are warning signs, and you got to be really, really, really careful of that. Now, JD from the United Kingdom says, other things has said to me, a social worker into my house, but I know that this woman come under a secret agenda. And when I told her that I don't know why she never come back see me again, because she knows that I told her to the face that you spy on me, and she's not responding even on my phone calls or messages. All of you listen to me quite well. Rule number 3 is you do not talk to social workers. You do not talk to policemen. You need to have your attorney present, and only your attorney can determine what you need to say. You do not allow them in your home. You don't allow them in your yard. It's your private domain. You have the constitutional rights to keep them out of your home, and you have the constitutional rights not to speak to them. Now, if you give them permission, that's how they get in your home, but you don't have to give them permission. Now, if they have a warrant, it has to be a court order warrant. It's where the child protection system or the police have gone to the judge and said they believe and they testified an oath that a child's in danger, they must remove him from the home. And a lot of that is not good at all. That a lot of just fake stuff. So you got to be careful who you listen to. Now, Margaret, you have to demand them that they keep you in the loop. You need to have your attorney contact them. You need to have your attorney do his job. Now, if you're using a court-appointed attorney or a public defender, I don't know if you're going to have much luck, but you need to make them work for you. You need to make them work for you. Now, somehow I missed one here, JD, and I apologize. My computer doesn't want to cooperate with me, and I can't. I have to hit escape, backspace, and spacebar just so I can go up to scroll upward. But JD says they said that her daughter don't want to see me ever again. I said it. This is not true. She's not allowed to ever talk to me on the phone. Your children should be allowed. Again, you got to have your attorney, your magistrate. I don't know, in the United Kingdom, if you call them lawyers or attorneys or magistrates, but you have to have the public official who's representing you fight for your case. If they don't want to fight, give a boot in the pants. And if they don't want to perform, tell them that you will sue them for negligence and that you report them to the Bar Association. You'll register a complaint, and that'll ruin their career in being a lawyer. So you got to be really aggressive out there, and you need a real attorney, somebody like Mr. Davis, who was on earlier. He has 39 years of experience of fighting CPS. He is schooled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. He knows all three very well. That's the kind of attorney you need to get. You need someone who's a pit bull of a fighter. Pit bull of a fighter. Okay. JD from England says, for 2 children, they give me 150,000 pounds to the police. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's 75,000 pounds, 75,000 quid. That's wrong. They're working on the agenda to make money off your children. They don't care. They don't care. Hi, Leica. This is the beautiful lady from South Africa, from the West Cape province. And she calls me Uncle Bob, which is sweet. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm a friend of Leica. Okay, I do remember the 5 ladies. There are 5 ladies in South Africa. And Leica was on this morning. She was in tears. She was in tears. She broke down. She misses her daughter so much. She misses it. And she broke down in tears. And she called in. Her country code is 27. And I know your country code's 27 too. And I'm certainly glad to see you there, Lich. There, I know that. JD, at the moment, I don't have no buddy. I'm so sorry, but don't frail. All of you that are listening or coming here, I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. That's 14 shows. So if you feel down and out and you want to talk about your case, you can call in or you can text in and I will help you. I'm always here. I never miss a day. I may be at different times, but I'm here for you. I know what it feels like. I too have lost a daughter that was taken from me brutally by CPS as revenge. They did it as a revenge because the CPS worker was caught in perjury. She lied on the stands in front of the court as she promised to tell the truth. She lied and she was caught in her own lies. And my attorney was Vincent Davis. But you have me, JD. I'm here for you. I don't let them in my house, and she's trying to harass me. And then one day I found my daughter and children serviced in my house without my permission. Well, you have a lock on the door. If you hear the door knock, don't answer it. If it's one of your family members or a friend, you can arrange a certain secret knock, a knock that is kind of unusual, that you recognize someone that you know is at the door. But you don't want to answer the door. Too many police that come to the door and shot first. Now, I know in the United Kingdom, they don't use guns. But I don't know lately. I don't know if what they're called, the police are called bobbies. And I think they now carry guns. The problem being in the United States is that most of the police shoot first, kill first before they investigate. And that is sad. That is so sad. I know of 3 cases this year, tragically, where these people died just by answering the door. So I'm telling you, don't answer the door. It isn't safe. They have to have a warrant. It's got to be an official warrant. Hi, JD. Welcome. JD is from LA County, and thank you for being in my podcast. He's another one of my family members. We have the second South African lady that's called in, Friends of Leica. We also have a new person from the United Kingdom from Norfolk, England. And that person is called JD. It's a mom. And she's going through a very terrible time, JD. And thank you for saying hi to me, JD. Now, Margaret says, I'm kind of past all that now, Bob. I just want to win the trial and get my girls back. I know you do. I know you do. And I'm so sorry you're going through so much turmoil, Margaret. You will. You just got to be patient and make your attorney work for you. JD said, police came to my house, and I know that police make false cases against me, and suddenly, out of nowhere, says, we need to remove your daughter because she lives in danger. I asked what crime. I did not, and they not responding. Well, the first thing you want to do is don't talk to them. Don't open the door. And you do talk to them, ask them where the warrant is. Ask them for the warrant because you can't. And you got to say, I need to talk to my attorney. You may not have one yet, but it gives you a chance to get one before you talk to them or talk any further. Be nice and courteous, but do not talk to them. Everything you use be held against you. Everything you use be held against you. So be careful of that, JD. Chubing, Hi there. I remember you from this morning. You came on late, and I'm glad you're a little bit earlier tonight. Welcome to my room. We have JD from Los Angeles, California. We have JD, like the letter J and D, is from Los Angeles, California. A JD, J-A-Y, the D-E, is from Norfolk, England. And she has a horrible case involving 3 of her children. Her 16-year-olds, her 2 younger children have all been taken from her. And CPS is making all kinds of money. Making all kinds of money. I'm trying to scroll up and my computer still has issues. Hi, Tessa, and welcome. I can barely see your message. Tessa is from Northern California. Now, what am I? Oh, brother. I thought I put Tessa's message up there. Let me try to put it again. Tessa says, and the statistics are old. It's now 2 in 5 men have experienced domestic violence, and 1 in 3 women. Wow, that's pretty heavy information. Thank you for sharing. Okay, JD from United Kingdom says my daughter only been home and she's the one that let them in. You need to tell family members don't answer the door, don't let people in. I'm sorry, Betty, I missed your message. Good evening, Betty. Betty is from Montana, a grandmother who's trying to get her niece. And she had a terrible thing. Chew baby, I forgot where you're from, but I'm glad to see you here. And Tessa came in early and said hi. And the girl from South Africa said, I was listening to Leica last night. Good. I'm glad you're listening to her. She was on my show. Now, JD from England says they take out the explanation. I've not been questioned or taken to custody. They said if you do not work with us, they'll get worse. And I refuse to let them in my house. And they said, because you're not working with us, they claim I'm guilty. No. You just tell them it's my constitutional rights not to talk to them, not to let them in my home, not to give up my children. You're required by law. I have an attorney represent you through all legal matters. So don't answer the door. Don't talk to them. Instruct your family not to talk to them. Okay. Don't worry about being sorry, JD. You don't have to say you're sorry. Tessa says There's been domestic violence cases are sexist. All are pushing that men are almost always the abuser, and this is seriously upsetting because women suffer abuse, men too. Yes, domestic violence is terrible against one another. And you're welcome, JD, for the thank you. I appreciate that. JD from United Kingdom says, I will not let them in, but my daughter let them in because she didn't know and she confused. They gave her her mobile phone without my concern. I was shocked. Oh boy. Tessa says, and the statistics are old. It's now 2 in 5 men have experienced domestic violence, and 1 in 3 women have. JD from England says, hi. That's great. The other JD from Los Angeles says, love and pray for you and everyone in here. Thank you, JD. That's awful nice of you, man. Tessa from Northern California hopes everyone is having a good night. Well, they are, but they still have to talk about their case, which has really been hard for many of the people here. JD from England said, I'm crying and crying, and today I broke out that I thought would be my last day on earth in so long without my daughter. It's okay. Leica from South Africa bawled, and by the time the show was over, she was feeling much better. You need to let your emotions out, but don't think of suicide or death. That's too easy. They'll give in. Your kids need you. You just got to fight. It takes longer. I'm sorry it takes so long, but you need support groups around here. You got me. I support you too, JD. Betty says, hey, I just found out the caseworker closed my ICP case for my niece, and she had no right to. You're right, because she lied, and you have the paperwork to show your judge tomorrow that your ICPC was not expired. You got to work your attorney. I know you're using a court-appointed attorney, a public defender, but you got to make them work. You got to tell them what to do. You got to tell them what to do. Now, JD from England says, I did ask for identification, but they harassed me. I'm not afraid of them because I'm studying a little bit of the law. Then I know a little bit now to talk to them. Do not let them in my home anymore. And then said you hiding something if you not let us in. They're playing mind games to confuse us. But I'm not afraid of them. You're right. You don't need to be afraid of them. They can be sued. They can be sued. They can be sued. Closed. It's closed. Is your case over? Did you get your children back, Chew Baby? Did you get your children back? I'd like to hear more about your case. JD from England says, in England, over 5 parents suicide because of difficulty to handle with their children, where the parents who know what is best for our children, not the government. I never know how this statistic agenda. I agree with you. By the way, it's been proven the best parents to raise the children, the best parents to raise our children are the biological parents. They're the best. It's been proven time and time again. Don't let them try to change your mind about that. And if you have hiccups, they can be taken care of by taking a parenting class or a domestic violence program. And you can go through it and get it passed. You need to do what's in your case plan. You need to have an attorney tell you what to do. It's too hard for you to handle yourself. It's like open heart surgery. With open heart surgery, you need a real doctor to cut open your chest and then to repair your heart. Yeah, Chew Baby is from Virginia. Now I remember. And she says, unless there is a absolute dispute or harm in this state under Virginia law that can create cause to how ongoing services. Now, Chew Baby from Virginia, I didn't do anything wrong. My sister made up false allegations, and when they bombarded my daughter, they asked her if I drink and drive, and she said my mom always has to have a drink when she drives. It's hard when children lie or when your friends lie, when lay people lie. It's really hard. Hi there, Sky Triathlon. You're from Canada. I know that. CPS is evil. We need international lawyers to help. Yes, you do. Now, Sky is from Canada. She's from the province of Ontario in Quebec, Ontario. And she's from the province there. And Sky's been on my show the last couple of nights. She's a new person from thing. So we have Betty from Montana. We have Tessa from Northern California. We have JD from LA County, California. And we have Licha from South Africa, from the province of West Caves. And then we have, I forget all the people here that we have. We have Day from Norfolk, England. And I want to welcome all of you, whether you're from the United States or from another country. I want to help you. Now, Jay from England says, yes, I know that they abused my rights and they told me to delete the pedophiles' videos and forget the case, but not give up. And they go against me because I challenged over what the police and told them they're wrong. That's a good one. But you need to get an attorney to fight them. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. You need a professional attorney, somebody like Mr. Davis, who has 39 years of fighting CPS and returning the children. He knows all about juvenile law, family law, dependency law. All three go together. That's what you're dealing with. CPS uses dependency law. So you got to know it. You got to look it up and know it. Sky from Canada says, you can do it. Really good, Sky. Sky from Canada. They have Chew Baby from Virginia. Let me put that in perspective. I am never driving with a good cup of ice water and fountain drink. I never drive with alcohol and drive my mild and for a whole life. I've always told her never to go into it. That's great, Chew Baby. I believe you. That's Chew Baby from Virginia. Chew Baby further says, never go in the car without something to drink, such as water or something cold. CPS took it to extreme out of contents. I agree. I know how CPS is. I know what they do. I know what they do. I'm trying to scroll up because I'm missing messages. My computer is not cooperating. Sky says CPS is evil. We need international lawyers for help. I agree. JD from United Kingdom says, yes, I know that they abused my rights and they told me to delete the pedophile videos and forget the case. You can't forget the case. You need to keep all the evidence to go get them. You need to talk to your attorney. I know it's the best you're doing, and I believe that you are. Chew Baby from Virginia is saying, let me put that in perspective. I'm never driving with a good cup of water or a fountain drink. I never drink alcohol and drive my mild for her whole life, her daughter. Chew Baby further says from Virginia, never go to the car with something to drink, such as water or something cold. CPS took it extremely out of contents. Sky from Canada says, I give support to the people dealing with CPS. Everyone is welcome to contact me. Thank you for your help, Sky. Thank you. JD from England says, thank you much. I know that God is only holding me to not give up or the nut brains out there when they're tired, and absolutely. I feel alone, but I definitely today felt it courage with God. Definitely opened the door. I'm glad you have God in your heart and you have me. I'm a loving father and a husband. I'm not a lawyer, but I know about how to fight CPS. And I know a lot of the ins and outs about CPS. You have to be very careful when dealing with them. You have to be very, very careful when dealing with them. I get so frustrated. It is so frustrated to have a computer that doesn't work. The cursor skips around and I can't scroll up because the scroller is flipping around. Now, JD says, thank you so much. I know that God is already holding me to give it up. The nut brains with try. Absolutely. I feel alone, but I definitely don't. I feel encouraged that God is. You're here. You're here with a room with a lot of good people. JD says to meet with you and your other friend. I forgot his name, Vincent Davis. Vincent Davis is an attorney. He is a trial attorney. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years. He's experienced in juvenile, family, and dependency law. And he will offer a free 15-minute session. All you have to do is be on my podcast as a guest or call in on my phone. Once you do, I'll ask you. And if you want to be on the show, you can have a 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. He is a true child protection attorney in dependency law. He knows all about family law and juvenile law. They go hand in hand, and he will get your kids. In fact, he's done lawsuits and won millions of dollars both in the state courts and federal courts. So he's the real deal. So you should think about talking to him for free to hear about your case. Okay. Now, Lai Cindy from South Africa, I was very sad for Leica not getting her daughter. She will get her daughter. I know it looks sad for her. Her daughter was molested by a pedophile, and he was 30 years old, and he was doing molestation to her daughter, and the police ignored it. Not only, this is Chew Baby from Virginia. Not only did we win our CPS case, we also won against my aunt and sister for custody. Not only did our lawyer destroy them, the guardian of them destroyed them in court, as we'll never went past that stage. I'm so glad to hear about that, Chew Baby. I'm so glad to hear about that. Now, JD from the United Kingdom says, Children Services keeps testing me and said, where is your solicitor that you're keep telling us that he can take the case? I said, don't worry. You will hear from him very soon. And she's trying to take a mick of me that I not have a solicitor. You say that you have an attorney. Don't worry what CPS says. You can go against them. Now we have Lai Cindy. I'm going to go and give Leica my support today. Thank you, Lai Cindy from South Africa. Chew Baby from Virginia. Please ready my continued comments. I will, Chew Baby. My daughter didn't like they took what she said way out of context. I agree. They do that. And JD from England says, in UK, a solicitor and barristers are corrupt. They're connected with children's services. It's difficult. Thank you for clearing us. I know that CPS because I've studied cases in England about CPS and how corrupt they are. Now, JD said from April through May in the United Kingdom, they changed the law completely against police or children's services. Doctor says they're taking our rights away. JD says we're living in the last couple of the worst what is coming. I realize that, JD. Just hang in there. You see, the devil doesn't like that you're helping lots of people. That's why the computer started not working. We did not give up. I agree. Maybe the devil does got my computer going because I like to help all you people. Hi, Felicia. This is Cruel from Ventura, California. And this is Felicia. And that's what she goes by as Cruel as her Facebook page. Chew Baby from Virginia says, I'm always have water or a cold fountain drink. I do not drink alcohol and drive. I always tell them my girl never goes somewhere without water or something to drink. No alcohol. Nothing wrong with that. Now we have a person who was on yesterday, NYP. They're not from New York, but they're actually from California City, California. Welcome, NYP. It's good to see you again. JD from England says, I do believe in God. I know that we learn from life experiences. I do believe it papers because our school life is only life experiences. However, is full of wisdom and knowledge. Yes, so true, so well said. JD from England. That is great. Um, I've gone over my time. I didn't realize we're at over 8 o'clock, so I got to end my show. So I'm going to read these last comments. Please, no more comments, okay? When CP asked her I drink and drive, she said, yeah, my always has a drink when she drives. Then they blew it way out the water, thinking I was drinking soda other than water or soda. Hi there, Philistine. Philistine is also from Canada. Welcome back. We have 2 Canadians in the room, and we have an English woman in the room, and we have the rest of you from around the United States. I pray in Jesus' name, Father, God, rebuke Satan away from this live stream. Left us spec check in peace without distraction. I pray in Jesus' name, amen. Beautiful pray, JD. Beautiful pray. Phyllis from Canada says, right now, we are specially called in protective service in Ontario, Canada, and are trying to take my niece, 8 years old, to wait at Disney World in the U.S. away from my brothers. That's wrong. Now, I got it in the comments, so no more comments after Chew Baby. Phyllis says, my niece was in foster care for 6 years. I thought for 6 years to get her 2 months ago. They told me I could have her and gave her to my daughter, which is great now. They're trying to take her, America, to sex traffic at Walt Disney World. And Chew Baby from Virginia says, don't let CPS into your home. I agree. Now, I want to thank Chew Baby from Virginia. I want to thank Philistine from Canada. We have 2 Canadians here. JD from the United Kingdom. We have NY Thing from California City, California. We have Felicia from Ventura, California. And then we have, see who else we have here. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. We have Sky from Canada. And I do welcome all these people. We have Betty, and we have Tessa. Betty from Montana, Tessa from Northern California. I'm so glad to have you here. We have JD from Los Angeles County. And I think I got everybody. If I left somebody off, I apologize, but I try to cover everybody in my room tonight. We've had a pocket. We have Margaret from St. Louis, Missouri. Margaret, yes, Margaret's been here too. And we have Cindy from South Africa. So I want to say God bless you all. Thank you for calling in. I'll be on again tomorrow. That's Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Please check back. If you have some more to talk about, you can either schedule to be a guest on my podcast with my show producer. That's Grace at VincentWDavis.com. Grace at VincentWDavis.com. Or you can call in and talk on my phone. And that will give you a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. So I want to thank you all for listening. Hang in there. Don't panic. Do not talk weird thoughts. You need be alive to help out your kids. I love you guys. God bless you. And there'll be a brief message from